Yeah, $100. I don't think it's out of the question. But yeah, I think there's such huge potential for silver now that central banks are getting involved. And unfortunately, in the West, very few people are aware of this stuff. I mean, you and I are aware because we listen to you listen to me, I listen to other people in the gold and silver space, but the mainstream is like completely like not really aware of it yet. Maybe the fact that like Tucker Carlson has started his own precious metals dealer might help wake people up a little bit. He's got a big following. So yeah, that's the major thing. These countries outside the West, yeah, they're going back to silver. Even Korea, South Korea, the central bank there has started buying gold again, but also silver.
The silver market has begun to show strength and urgency in recent market activity that hasn't been seen in decades. Not only is the price increasing, but it is also acting differently. Delivery times are getting shorter, volatility is rising, and the difference between paper and actual metal contracts keeps widening. This, according to analyst and pundit Mario Innecco, is a sign that the world silver market has moved into a new phase that is primarily driven by physical demand rather than financial speculation. Additionally, Innecco indicates a significant shift in international behavior. Countries that long treated silver exclusively as an industrial input are increasingly beginning to treat it as a strategic and even monetary asset. While new financial instruments and regulations are beginning to legitimize silver as collateral and reserve material, growing demand from Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Eastern Europe is stealthily depleting Western vaults. A few years ago, these developments would have appeared improbable, yet they are now happening and drastically changing supply dynamics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for the latest analysis on gold and silver markets.
Your general perspective on what's happening right now in the silver market.
Yeah, I mean, I think basically physical demand for silver is overwhelming the paper market. And 3.5 years ago, or a little more, we had the silver squeeze movement, and that didn't really go anywhere. We got to 30, and then there was a lid there, mainly because the big sovereign buyers of physical silver that we're seeing now, and also big investors, they weren't interested in silver. They might have been buying ETFs, but they weren't interested in physical. But now everything's changed, and I think that's why silver is picking up. And also silver has still to catch up with gold, because don't forget, gold in 1980 got to just below 900, and now we are here at I think 4,200 as we speak. And silver got to like around 50 in 1980. I think, yeah, since mid-October, there's been a correction, and a lot of people weren't too sure if silver was going to make it back up. But I think this is very significant that we made it back up, and we've made a new high. Yeah, gold is lagging, but I'm not concerned about that. I think if you look at the gold-silver ratio, it's breaking down, which is a good thing. Back in the 70s and also in 2011, towards the end of the bull market, silver really caught up and went higher. And I'm not saying the bull market is near an end. Precious metals, I think, is far from over. But yeah, usually it's good to see silver leading the way. For me, the most important aspect is that actually central banks like in the Middle East, like the Gulf Cooperation central banks, even Turkey, Russia, China, they're all starting to buy physical silver. And I've even heard that Dubai now, they want to they're creating a tokenized silver instrument. Basically, they want to make silver kind of money again, which is quite amazing. I don't know if you saw the other day, Dubai, they showed this silver bar. It was 1,971 kilos. so almost two tons. And yeah, they're really into silver. We saw that India is going to allow individuals and companies to use silver as collateral for money, for loans, excuse me. So yeah, up until 6 months ago, the reason people gave for silver underperforming gold was that, well, central banks only buy gold, they never buy silver, but that's completely changing, and I think that's huge. And I think the silver price, right now we are like in what one would call terra incognita, like we're in territory we don't know. It's never been there before. But yeah, I think there's such huge potential for silver now that central banks are getting involved. And unfortunately, in the West, very few people are aware of this stuff. I mean, you and I are aware because we listen to you listen to me, I listen to other people in the gold and silver space. But the mainstream is like completely like not really aware of it yet. Maybe the fact that like Tucker Carlson has started his own precious metals dealer might help wake people up a little bit. He's got a big following. So yeah, that's the major thing. These countries outside the West, yeah, they're going back to silver. Even Korea, South Korea, the central bank there has started buying gold again, but also silver. So, and we also seen, Elijah, that the United States and China, they've put silver on their critical minerals list. So everyone wants to get silver before those two giants get a lot more. I mean, I remember back in from 05 to 08, even though I was a futures and options broker for government bonds, we had a client that traded a lot of silver. And so I was involved in that. And I could remember $5 days when silver was between $15 and $20. So I don't see why we shouldn't see $5 days again, especially now that we are above 50. And I mean, as we speak here, we're just trading at 56, the spot price. That's a new all-time high. And we're actually up, Elijah, $2.60, which is half of, I guess, 5. But yeah, $100, I don't think is out of the question. Back in 1979, I think silver was at $16 in November, and by even end of November, and by January 1980, it got up to 50, so it like tripled. So we could very easily double.
According to Mario Innecco, investors should maintain composure and refrain from making snap judgments based on transient price fluctuations, especially if silver rises into the $58 level. He stresses that rather than being traded like a volatile stock, precious metals should be kept as long-term financial insurance. As a result, discipline is considerably more important than attempting to predict the ideal time to make a purchase. Instead of investing all at once, Innecco advises individuals who are new to silver to use a consistent, gradual purchase technique. This is particularly crucial because retail demand may drive up premiums and price volatility may rise. He also emphasizes how crucial it is to make sensible purchases. The primary objective should be to spend the least amount above the spot price when purchasing coins, bars, or constitutional silver, especially when the physical supply is becoming more scarce. According to Innecco, the silver market is entering a new and revolutionary stage. It's possible that central banks are subtly starting to add physical silver to their reserves for the first time in the modern period. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. We really appreciate your support.
I think people should remain calm. I try to stay even keel. Even on the way up, back in the beginning of October, the market went crazy on the way up, especially gold. I try to stay calm and not too excited. And the same thing when it corrected. Same thing now. But for people who want to get involved in silver, I would say don't go in all at once. I don't, if you have a certain amount of dollars, don't go and buy all of it in silver. Maybe dollar cost average, and don't worry about the price, because if you do it regularly, you're going to get a period when the price is corrected down. So yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. But it's getting. I think we could see next week silver be very explosive to the upside. We could see a lot of volatility as well, and I expect the premiums to go higher for silver because the dealers, when it's very volatile, they need to have a wider bid and offer spread to protect their profitability. So that's the only thing I would say right now. I mean, yeah, I heard that from Andy Scheckman last week. I interviewed him. He said the constitutional or junk silver is, yeah, it's almost trading at spot, which is unusual. I'm not really picky. I just try to get the best deal in silver. And I think as long as you have silver, that's fine. Yeah, I think everything will do well. Here in the UK, I like buying the coins of the realm, like the 1 ounce silver Britannias, and I have some like pre-1920 sterling silver coins as well. Those are they're like the junk silver for the UK. Yeah, and in the US, I would stick to silver eagles and pre-65 coinage. And I guess if you have millions, of course, you might want to think about bars, silver bars, like 5,000 ounce bars and stuff like that. But for the small investors, yeah, stick to the coins and maybe some 100-gram bars and stuff like that. I mean, it's very surprising for me, and but I think maybe these central banks are waking up to the fact that yes, it's good to have gold as more of a reserve asset, but silver will provide more liquidity as well in terms of a day-to-day asset or money or currency to use for the general public. And I see that. I think it's Ronan Manley and Bullion Star. I'm not sure if it's together with Bullion Star. They're helping develop this token in Dubai, silver-backed token. So I'm not sure exactly yet what that's going to be like. But yeah, you could go to Dubai and use silver as currency. So I think, yeah, and that helps liquidity because you're not just focused on gold. You have like a bimetallic standard. That's how it used to be in the US prior to 1873. So I think this is truly historic, and it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise because we've been told that silver will never be money again or be used again, that you need to be into Bitcoin and cryptos. But maybe going back is what it's all about, going back to real money.
Mario Innecco's primary advice is straightforward but crucial. Maintain composure. He clarifies that investors should not let their emotions control them, regardless of how quickly prices are rising or declining. He makes an effort to stay consistent in both market directions and exhorts others to follow suit. He advises anyone who wants to invest in silver not to jump right in. He recommends utilizing a dollar-cost averaging method to acquire tiny amounts of silver on a regular basis over time, rather than investing all of your money in one purchase. This strategy enhances the likelihood that you will purchase during times when the price momentarily declines and lessens the burden of timing the ideal price. Additionally, Innecco stresses that buyers don't have to be extremely particular about the type of silver they purchase. Getting the greatest offer at the lowest premium is the most crucial consideration. He favors earlier sterling silver coins from before 1920 and 1 ounce Britannias in the UK, which serve as the nation's equivalent of junk silver. Beyond individual investing, Innecco thinks there might be much more going on behind the scenes. According to him, some central banks are starting to acknowledge silver as a type of liquidity that may be utilized in regular transactions rather than merely as an industrial metal. Silver might have a more useful, everyday financial role, even though gold is still a significant reserve asset. He points to developments in places like Dubai, where a silver-backed token is being developed, potentially allowing people to use silver as a functional medium of exchange once again. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss an update.